We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Episode 191 of No Brains, No Headache podcast. My name is Jordan. I'm going to be your host today, as always. And we're just going to cut right to it. I'm here with Matt, my co-host, longtime friend, fellow comedian. Ongo, how are you?
I got a little bit sick this weekend, and not like the good, like, got a little bottle flu sickness. I actually got sick, so, I'm doing recovery a little bit, but, I'm still going to hang in there. Jordan flu game my way through this, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand sanitizer going around in the studio right now. Got a big show coming up later this week. Well, we're recording on March 11th. Yeah, hell yeah. We're just cruising right along. Look at that. You ever think, when you figure out your show schedule and you're like, oh, that's so far out. Now we're here the week of our second show. It's like, wow. Your third show, my second.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. It's a different environment. I've never done it before, so I'm kind of excited.
This is your first time over there. They take good care of you. By that, I mean, when they say unlimited bar tab, they mean unlimited bar tab. I did pull a rookie mistake, though, because that was like part of the deal as I negotiated for the comedians. Unlimited bar tab. Well, there's 4 comedians, yourself, myself, been known to have a drink or two. Then the other comedian doesn't drink, and one of them's not even 21. So, really, I fucked that one up. I'll admit it.
I will say that we probably drink enough for everyone.
4.
Yeah, I think we'll do our part.
I'm going to let them, they're going to be able to hand out some drinks to their guests. So, you know what? And they got some free tickets to hand out to their guests. So, really can't complain there. But I'm also back on the fruit snacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I hammered some last night. I got to the daylight savings time really messes with my mind.
I didn't know it was that until hours before. They're like, don't forget about your clocks. I'm like, what? What's happening? That's already? We already did that? We're here now.
But I was kind of like ass backwards, though, I think, because it was like 8, but it should have felt like, wait, no, it did feel like 7.
If it was 8, it would have felt like 7.
Yeah, and so it was like 9, and I was like, I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go get Papa John's, because it's right by my house.
Papa Giorgio.
And I did the classic thing where you order it online, go to pick it up, and you forgot to hit send.
Oh, man. That's a rookie mistake right there.
So I'm sitting outside of Papa John's, essentially just waiting for my food to be done in my car, and as I go to checkout, it's like, would you like to franchise a Papa John's? And I was like, if I had the money to franchise a Papa John's right now, I wouldn't be eating at Papa John's.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Most of the, would you like some Parmesan bread bites with your order? Oh, would you like to franchise a Papa John's with your order?
That's a pretty aggressive leap right there. They didn't really ease into it. They're like, hey, you know what? Who could be our target market for a franchisor? Franchisee? The hungover dude on a Sunday buying some Parmesan bites.
That forgot to hit send, so he's sitting in his car awkwardly for 15 minutes.
Yeah, just Papa John's right over here?
Yep.
Oh, I have a bone to pick with them. I ordered ahead one time, and yeah, it took about twice. It's never a good sign when you're there to pick up your food, and then the person working looks at the people in the back and says, where's this ticket at? They're like, oh, it's just going in the oven now. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to go fuck myself. I'll be in my car doing that. Let me know when it's ready.
Well, and there's no place to sit in any of those pizza spots. Or there's like one chair awkwardly sitting next to a cooler.
I got offered a free 2-liter to ease my pain, and I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, whatever, sure. I should have just started drinking from the 2-liter like a serial killer, and they would have been like a stat on the pizza. And the cheese wasn't even melted on the cocksucker. They rushed it,
Yeah. Well, for the low fee of like $600,000, you could franchise a Papa John's.
Well, that's good to know. But yeah, back on the fruit snacks. Took a little break there. I'm pretty much just out of groceries, so that's why I'm back on the fruit snacks.
You did tell me that, and like, yeah, I'm I'm pretty low. That's why I got pizza last night instead of actually just going grocery shopping. It's like, oh, what are we having for dinner tonight? A can of baked beans and some ravioli.
I had a dinner recently. It was rice,
Okay.
eggs, and corn. That was my dinner.
Mixed together or
No,
like-
I kind of had them all in their own respective spots on the plate, but
That's what I'm talking about. That's like, oh, sweet. I have some everything bagel seasoning that I'll put on some eggs.
There you go.
And then, what else do I have here? Oh, a leftover fortune cookie. That will be good for dessert.
nice part about eggs, though, it can just be a meal in itself.
Yep.
Scramble them up, over easy, sunny side up, fried, whatever you want to do. Got to watch out for it. Also, earlier today, I was wrapping up my day, getting ready to come over to the old stooge, record the pod. As I'm pulling into my place, I see a cop having somebody pulled over. I went upstairs, made a quick phone call, changed, grabbed my shit, left, came out, had another person pulled over. Cracking down on speeding. You got to watch out for it.
Usually that's like at the end of the week or the end of the month. They're like, well, I've only written one ticket so far this month because they were just like fishing like the guy in Super Troopers.
Yeah.
And so they have to write like 6 tickets in one day.
Well, he was really cracking down, which is that makes me feel safe in my neighborhood. Got to watch out for the speeders, and you also got to watch out for the car crashes. I got bumped back in late November. It is March 11th, like I said, and still waiting on this goddamn claim. You know what I hate about insurance people? They expect you to know exactly how insurance works. Matt, could you take it easy on the goddamn ice?
Can't pick your water bottles.
But you call them and you're like, hey, I want answers. What's the status? What's going on here? And they're like, well, didn't you do this, do that? I'm like, I've done everything. I'm waiting on you guys. And they'll go through the whole thing. They call the auto body shop. They're like, well, you just want to cash out. I'm like, yeah, I thought I made that very clear last time. Like, where's the check? Please send it to me. People are waiting on this. I got a riverboat gambling trip coming up. Could really use it. Even though it's not mine. But
That might be the worst job in the world because is it your insurance agent that you were talking to? Or
it's a different company where the guy who hit me, I was calling his company. And
That
it's
has
just
to
some
be
poor lady who's just trying to make an honest living, 9 to 5. I wasn't too mean to her, except after the whole miscommunication got revealed. I was short. I didn't say anything bad. I was just like, yep, okay, sounds good. Yep, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till you're telling a lady that works like the 1-800 number at Omaha Steaks to go kill herself.
Okay, well, I didn't quite go that far, but I was trying to project my feelings through the tone of my voice, and I think I accomplished that. So, sorry, I guess, to homegirl at fucking State Farm or whatever.
It's been 4 months. They should figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting asked by people where the shit is, and I'm like, I have a million other things to do. I don't need to be dealing with this. I thought I've dealt with this. I did everything I need. I even kept the police report. My organizational skills, fantastic. I found the sheet of paper. I've even been writing down when I call. So I referred to it. I said, I called back on January 29th to get this shit figured out. God damn it. Pretty much just an upset father figure at this point. But yeah, we got episode 191, No Brains, No Headache. Let's get into it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Okay. Let's party.
We got to talk about power moves, and I know you have one as well.
You said yours wasn't really even a power move.
Mine's kind of 2, and one's more of a life hack. Is going into a bar that's close to like an event you're going at, so you can park in their parking lot.
Yep.
Like go and have like a shot or something, then going across the street.
You gotta slide the receipt in the windshield to really flex.
And well, there was one time that there's people that I knew that were going to this, so I like sat at the bar and they're like, we're gonna go over to the event. I'm like, okay, and I sat at the bar for like 2 hours. I was with some other people. I wasn't by myself. But then they came back after the event and I was still there.
That actually is a power move, and it's very similar to my power move. My power move is doing a pub crawl and starting at a bar and never leaving that bar.
That's how every one of the pub crawls that I go on goes.
Well, and I think, what's your stance on pub crawls? Where do you lie in that genre?
I like a pub crawl that's like 3 bars.
Is that a pub crawl though? I think that's just like a normal evening on the town.
Yeah, I don't want to go to 10 bars though.
Well, that's where I got. It was fun to do, and for like St. Patrick's Day bar, pub crawls. That's where we're at. It's the time of year we're celebrating. I'm okay with those. Then I had a discussion with the participants, and they were talking about zombie pub crawls. I was like, nope, I'm out on zombie. But you got the fucking makeup on. You look like shit. Your clothes are all raggedy. I don't get it. I'm not a big fan of that. And that's odd because I'm a festive guy. I like to dress up. I like to be a character. But make me look like a dead person and then black out. You can go without the first part.
I'm already dead inside, so
yeah,
I don't need to be that on the outside.
Yeah, the exterior does not need to. But you know what? Pub crawls, that's what I realized after about, half of the bars. They're all very condensed, which I like. You could easily walk from A to B to C to D. But then again, it was a really nice day out. So I was like, damn, I should not be in this dark bar that smells like sewage right now. And here I am. It's like they all have the same air freshener. It's sewage.
Well, most of the time it's like a North Dakota bar crawl is when it's like December 28th and it's -40 out with like 30-mile-per-hour winds. And you're like, all right, next bar. And it's like, we lost someone. Did they go to another bar? Nope, they're dead outside.
When I am out on the town and it is that cold out, I get anxiety about it. Like I'm more apt to be like, okay, the bar closes in 2 hours. I better start calling an Uber now.
Yep.
Better, but you get stranded outside. It's cold out. That's no fun. It takes all the fun. It sucks the fun out of it. But yeah, pub crawls. I'm okay with the St. Patty's Day ones. I think that's the original meaning of pub crawl. A pub, an Irish pub. That's what you think of. So I think that makes sense. But other ones, like what is there? Like a turkey crawl right around Thanksgiving. I don't like it. I mean, what's the point?
I don't like the turkey like trots that they do on Thanksgiving. It's like the morning of Thanksgiving's not for running. That's for waking up and having no clue where you're at from the night before.
We should just like start tracking the next turkey trot. It's like, all right, over under how many people puke on this 5K.
Oh, that
would be me for sure. I would train for months for this. It'd be super ready. Then the night before, I would throw away all progress.
I could have a beer, too.
Let's have a beer. 3 hours later, jump up and shout, no, hey-oh, hey-oh. And then it's like, okay, I have to wake up in 4 hours, and the booze is still in the system. But maybe that's a good way to get it out.
Another power move I have is when so I was the first person to get to this bar, and there was like 3 other people coming. And so I got a beer and gave the bartender my card for a tab. And when the other 3 people came in, I said, they ordered their beers. I'm like, you can put it on my tab. I'll get the first round. Didn't tell the bartender after that. So I bought everyone's beers that night.
Damn, missed out.
$180 tab.
Actually?
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Matt, you dog, you. Hey, that's what gets you regular status. That's a TV on the wall. You just bought yourself a TV. They should give you the remote every time you go in there for the TV because you bought it that night.
Yeah, but I was just like, but by the time like I got my tab, I was like, wow, there's no way I drank 36 tall beers.
But you did have a good portion of those.
I mean, there was quite a few people at the table at the end of it, but I think I don't know what was going on with the beer tender, but they didn't ask anyone for a card, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, Matt said he's got this one." It's like, great,
fantastic. You got to watch out for that for sure. Is that a power move? Is that what you're saying? It
was a power move.
Buying everybody drinks.
It was a power move to say, "Hey, first one's on me." It's not a power move to forget about that, and so they just put all of them on you.
So the power move is having a miscommunication?
Power move is picking up the tab for the first time around. Like, hey, first round's on me. And then not so much of a power move, forgetting that you did that, and then everything gets put on you.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree. That is not a power move. Here's what you should have done. The real power move would have been saying, hey, first round's on me. And then the idea is that you go around and everybody buys a round, and really at the end of the day, it's just like paying for your own beers. It's the principle.
Yep.
But what you should have done is just bought the first round and then not another round after that. Because it sounds like you guys went around a few times with 36 beers divided by 4, I don't know the math, about 10, let's say, 9, whatever. You could have just bought that first round and then had 8 free beers after that. And that would have been a power move, thinking that you're going to like do the rotating system. And you're like, no, I just bought the first round. You guys are stuck with the rest.
Yeah, see, we're flirting on that line of dick move and power move or smart move.
But you're not like doing it really that intentionally. It just like happens to go that way where the next round gets bought and then it just kind of never comes back to you.
Yeah, that's kind of like what you do when you're like, if you're like splitting the costs on something, you'd be like, oh, I'll like, case in point, one of my dumbass friends was getting married. And he was like, oh, I bought the tie and the belt. You guys have to buy the shirt, the pants, and like
You bought the tie and the belt.
Yeah.
It's like buying one windshield wiper and be like, here's a car. I bought the windshield wiper.
Like, so you spent $18 and I spent $215, which ended up being over $300 because I bought the wrong color pants and had to go buy different ones the morning of.
Enough! You're going to get me worked up
Yeah.
about weddings here because that's my biggest beef. I feel like I was just talking to somebody about this where they said, oh, I'm the usher in the wedding. Oh, I think it was our guest.
Yep.
Our guest, if we can figure out the audio, we may have an interview after this with a special guest. He was saying how he said no twice to not being an usher in a wedding, and it has severed both relationships. But I was like, you know what? Being the usher, that is just being the cuck, essentially. It's just like you have to buy the whole tuxedo or rent it or whatever, block out your day, block out your weekend. You have to show up for pictures, but guess what? You're the goddamn usher, so nobody cares. The photographer is going to take 3 pictures of you with the ushers, and then you're going to have to stand there for the rest of the time. You have to buy the suit for what? To walk people to the seat? Do they not know how to walk? Do they not know where to go? Pick a side. It doesn't matter what side. If this is a wedding, it's the union of 2 families. Why does it matter what side we're sitting on? Aren't we coming together as one for the couple?
My cousin had a ceremony that was like less than like 7 minutes, and it was awesome.
Now that's a power move. That's a wedding power move. Another wedding power move? No kids.
There was no kids at this one. It was like a perfect wedding. It was at the same spot where like the reception and everything was. So like literally they're like, all right, that's a ceremony. Open bars 30 feet that way. Go nuts. And it's like, all right. And you walk.
So then essentially, is that what a wedding is? Is just like, let's just get drunk together. We already do that. Why do we have to buy a dress and the flowers and the photographer and the whole thing? Rent out a venue. Why do you got to do that? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's 7-minute ceremony. As a spectator, as an attendee, that's great for you. But it's like, why did we go through months and months, years of preparation, thousands of dollars, miles traveled for 7 minutes? I mean, I'm for it, but it also just doesn't make sense to me. Why don't you just go down to the courthouse, get hitched, and they'll be like, hey, we're going to go to this bar. I have like 4 tables reserved.
Hey, there's
Come
a
on
pub
by.
crawl tomorrow.
Yeah. Our wedding reception is the pub crawl. Donate to the goddamn charity and we'll have fun.
The wedding reception is a zombie pub crawl.
Now we're talking. You just wait until one of us gets married and everyone's invited then. You don't have to have that awkward conversation. And if your friendships are getting severed by you saying no respectfully to the usher position, I don't understand that. Why did you even ask then? If somebody says no to you being an usher in their wedding and then you get all salty and it's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Why didn't you just say, hey, guess what? You're my usher. Then there's not much of an option there. Why, if you're asking them to be the usher, then you're just assuming. I've learned over the last couple of years, making assumptions, very unhealthy. It's going to hurt you if you just constantly assume things. And when you assume somebody's going to be an usher at your stupid goddamn wedding, then we're going to have problems. And maybe it's best that that person isn't friends with them anymore. They're going to get so salty about you being at their 7-minute ceremony of being an usher. Gotta walk grandma down to her seat. It's like, Grandma, what are you doing here? You know, you're on oxygen right now. What the heck are you doing? Give me a hit.
You've been dead for like 2 weeks.
How the hell did you get here? We thought we buried you 5 years ago.
Yeah, we dug up Grandma's coffin. It's just sitting in the corner. Like, now that I say it out loud, it's a little weird.
You know what? Maybe that would be worth it then. That would be worth the months of preparation. Dig up Grandma's coffin for the 7-minute ceremony.
I mean, the ushers don't do a lot. Maybe the ushers
zombie pub crawl. Then she'd come on the zombie pub crawl afterwards and best dressed.
It's like, what do you do as an usher? Well, you got to go to the cemetery and dig up his grandma.
Yeah.
And then you got to take them over to Mandan to go on the zombie pub crawl.
Yeah. Go dig up Graham from her grave. She lives in a small town 4 hours away, so might want to get a hop on it. Also, you have to pay for the gas, dick.
And the shovels.
Yeah. Get arrested for grave robbing, quite literally. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the power moves are a bit confusing. You need to be very clear about what the power move is.
Yeah, that one went down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
Well, and that's what happens here on No Brains, No Headache. You know, premier entertainment coming to you from Bismarck, North Dakota. Mindlessly entertaining. Some would say. I said that. I coined that. I don't know if anybody's ever said that, but I tried branding that. Didn't work.
Okay.
Tried my best.
So what do you have about Mormons?
Oh, yeah, I got some Mormons infiltrating the DMs. Now, this isn't, I told you about one before. I think I even said her name on the podcast. Kind of felt bad about that, but did I go back and delete? I don't know, whatever.
I don't think you said it on the podcast.
I think I said her name.
Oh, come on.
I felt really bad. I was like, I probably shouldn't have said her name, but whatever.
Well, you're like, never know.
Well, I showed you this video message, right? This girl adds me on Facebook. Kind of cute, whatever. I could tell by her like bio that it's so. I'm like, this is gonna be religion, but you know what? I'm gonna see. I try not to deny friend requests because it's like, well, I got a comedy show coming up. You want to buy tickets? Not gonna say no to a potential guest, but
or bang,
and that's where I'm at now. I haven't deleted the message yet because I'm trying to devise a plan to attempt to soak with her. Mormons, I'm like, hey, tell me about your religion. Let's practice the religion. Did we talk about how when Mormons soak, they can sometimes hire somebody to jump on the bed? Yeah. Well, that's wild.
There's also a video series about this guy that goes to BYU, and it's like, what's your favorite party drink? And the girl will be like, Dr. Pepper's pretty awesome. It's like, oh my God.
And, well, you know, maybe as we think of it, I feel like a few episodes ago we said how the Ring doorbell really ruined. That's Jehovah's Witnesses.
That same shit.
Mormons go around too and do the same thing. So now I think what they're doing is taking the more modern approach of adding people on Facebook of all places. And then she sent me a video message personalized to me. So it starts out, hey, Jordan, blah, blah, blah. I'm Mormon, blah, blah, blah. Let me save you. It's like, okay, you checked out my profile, you sent me a friend request, you know my name, obviously, because you put it in your message. I mean, I'm sure she's just rattling off the same message and has a script, but I don't think she's very observant, because if she looked at my profile and like still went through with this, or she's just super optimistic that about her ability to save people. It's like, have you looked at my profile? Like,
well, it could go the other way too, because there's always those chicks that like in their Instagram bio will have like Corinthians 4:13, and then like 2 days later just getting wobbly H by two guys in a bar bathroom. It's like, What are we doing here?
Yeah, but they're not. I don't know if they're trying to spread the gospel, the word of God, or whatever their religion is. You know, with this one, it's like I have a video on my Facebook profile. It's my joke about dating a girl with one boob and how I have to get blackout drunk every night to bang her because then I can see double. It's poorly said right there. You have to go check it out yourself or come to our comedy show. It's a pretty hot joke right now. If you see that and you're still going through of like, hey, Jordan, come over to the Mormon side. It's like, well, I'm probably just going to hit on you now.
Yeah.
And if that makes you uncomfortable, well, then we're even because I got uncomfortable when you sent me a fucking video message not too long ago. But who does that? Also, here, let me show you this guy. Some random dude added me, or I don't even know if he added me. Maybe you know who he is. We're going to keep his name out of it. This is a guy, he messaged me.
I feel like I'm going to know the dude.
No, you are for sure, probably. I don't know if you know them personally. Said, hello, how are you doing? And this is the guy who did it.
What type of insurance does it? Oh my God. I do not know that guy. ESPN.
We have 4 mutual friends.
Daddy?
Well, it's like, what are you trying to, what's with the message? Are you trying to book me for a show? Because if that's the case, then let's just get down to brass tacks. Say, hey, how are you? I'm interested in booking you for a show. Let's chat. Like, all right, then I'm more apt to respond. Hello, how are you doing? What the fuck does that mean? You're a random man, a grown man who I've never seen before. You look interesting.
Yeah.
He's like that. It's like when we're having a staring contest. He's looking southwest as we're staring.
Only guy
northeast.
that can look you in the eyes and at your balls at the same time.
Just eyes up here, pal. Yeah, so I just have weird people infiltrating my DMs. Now that I have talked about this, I'm probably going to message her back, and just, it could be a recurring, talking point on the show.
You know how I like to respond to random numbers that text me and like get into long conversations? Well, it happened this morning and it was like, the message was like, it was like a 320 number. So I'm like, oh, this has to be. And it's like, oh my God, slept through my alarms. I'm on my way now. And I was like, on your way to where? And it turns out it was one of my coworkers.
My name is Jeff.
It was like, well, could have played that one better, but
I just, you know what? It's like when you get a spam phone call, and maybe you don't do it, but I definitely know, the classic person who likes to mess with the spam callers. Maybe it's just they like bang on a drum, or they just play like like when you call the 2 Chinese restaurants and they go back and forth, something like that. Whereas with the infiltrating my direct messages bit, it's like, well, I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah, you almost have to.
Like I have thought about it. It's like, should I really just be like, hey, yeah, you know what? Why don't we meet up and have Mormons can't drink, so that fucking takes everything out.
So there goes 99% of what I do.
have nothing in common. With this
if you want to get coffee, can't have caffeine.
Yeah.
You want to just go to some random alley? You can kick me in the nuts, and we'll see how we feel after that.
Pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna mess with the person. I mean, and I feel like that's not a dick move on my part. It's just my American right.
It's kind of like creating content. Like I was gonna, if I wasn't watching the Duke UNC game this weekend, I was gonna go to a soup contest and bring a crock pot of like.
You're just gonna go buy a bunch of soup
like
from somewhere and pour it into the crock pot?
I was just gonna get canned soup and like put it in the crock pot and see if I could win.
No, you'd have to go to a restaurant of some sorts, and then there would be a huge fraud allegation against you, which I would have your back 100%. But that would be fun to do, because then the canned. When's the last time you had canned soup? It is not good.
Yeah, what I was thinking about doing was going and getting like the chicken and dumplings, putting it in a crock pot, and then putting a shitload of pepper on it.
Is like making it bad.
I don't know. I didn't think it through very much, but yeah, I was going to do that.
I saw something recently on the socials that when they were filming the Titanic, that somebody put PCP in the clam chowder. Did you see
I
that
wrote a
clip?
blog about that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like recently?
No, like it was the first blog I ever wrote on
it's a good
our
topic.
blog page. Yeah, it was. Yeah, someone put PCP in it, and everyone went flipping bananas.
Yeah, the main interviewer guy, Bill, whatever. I think he's dead. R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah, the guy from Twister.
Yeah, I saw just a quick
Bill
clip
Paxton.
on that. Yeah, there you go. Nice, Matt, killing it. He's dead, but and they almost died from the. First of all, why are you eating clam chowder? That is a red flag in itself.
I'm an anti-chowder guy in general.
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of people just on PCP. Like that's wild. And then maybe that's something you could have done with the soup. What was it? The soup contest?
Yeah, just gave everyone a. Oh, how'd you get roofied? Well, I went to this soup eating contest, and one thing led to another.
It's like, do you think putting laxative in your soup would make any difference? Because if you're eating chili, I don't know if they're going to be able to tell, what the real cause of the loose digestive tract is. I don't know, but we'll see how the DMs go. And I've been in sales before. I've done all sorts of sales gigs earlier in my career. Wasn't the best at it. The rejection really got to me. I couldn't handle the rejection all that well. I think I was just really immature, and it was just like, it was so stressful. It's so stressful trying to make sales when you're like cold calling, and it's definitely a good experience. I think I learned a lot from it. Still was never really good at it, but I had to accept that. As a salesman, you call somebody and they say no or are rude to you. It's like, okay, well, I did, it's like I did call them in the middle of their day and kind of like infiltrate their day a little bit. Same concept with the DMs. If you're not getting pranked a little bit every once in a while with your Mormon DMs, then what's the point? And I hate it when people use their religion as a goddamn weapon.
Yeah.
I think I should ask this girl out on a date, and then what route should I go? Should I act as if like I had the wrong idea the entire time?
Try to convert her to drinking.
Yeah. Try to get her to drink. Well, I think that could be a bit creepy.
Try to get her to not be Mormon.
Like, yeah, it's like in
have
School
you ever
of
thought
Rock.
about being an Orthodox Jew?
Yeah, I don't. Well, maybe that's the other thing. I have to like really study a random religion, like Rastafarianism or something like that, and then try to convert her to that. Or it could be like in the School of Rock when he takes the principal out for coffee.
Yeah,
and it's just clearly a bar.
Dive bar.
Try to get her to take a drink, and then like the moment she does, just cha-ching, be like, well, homeboy, founder of the Mormon cult, will be receiving this picture soon. So, am I blackmailing then? All right, what would be a fun way to roll with this a little bit? I don't want to be too mean, and I don't really want to waste her time all that much. But I think I want it to be funny, and I want it to be like
clearly where
hey,
to go.
Learn your lesson. Maybe check somebody's profile and the antics they're up to before you try to convert them to Mormonism. And part of me does think that she's like, wow, this Jordan guy is a terrible human being. I need to save him. And that's what somebody who's really into their religion as a recruiter would do. They go for the people who need the saving the most. And that's me, apparently.
Yeah. Just be like, I need to wear a GoPro on my forehead for this, though.
I would maybe just the whole time it would be a bit uncomfortable, but the whole time I just bring up soaking.
Yeah. So back to soaking.
Yeah.
That never came up. It's like she orders like a water and you'd be like, yeah, so soaking. What are we going to do about that?
I don't know.
What'd you ask me about my favorite hobbies? Have you ever heard of soaking?
I've been really trying to get into soaking lately. It's like me planning an orgy. It's like how if you want to be in an orgy, it's like trying to win the lottery but not buying any lottery tickets. If you want to be in an orgy, it's like, well, have you ever tried to throw an orgy? Like, oh, I want to have a costume party, so I threw a costume party. I want to have an orgy, so I invited people to an orgy. I lost a lot of good men out there.
Well, that'll happen.
And I wouldn't get upset about it because that's like a sales tactic. That's what you got to expect. People will be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But there's a lot. How much time do you have?
you consider yourself a lucky person?
In general, no. I definitely something I have struggled with over the years of trying not to victimize myself. And there's times when things don't go well for me, it really does seem as if the universe is against me because they just pile up. And the way they happen to me, well, here I am victimizing myself. That's okay. But the way they happen.
Let's go back 10 seconds. I don't like to victimize myself. Within 15 seconds, you were victimizing yourself.
But to me, it really is. I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but you've seen me frustrated before, and in times when things just aren't going well, and I'm just fucking pissed off. And I handle my anger super well, so that helps. But it's like the only way this would have happened was all these little things needed to happen perfectly, and then it fucking happened.
Well, I was thinking of examples. Like there was a guy that he got struck by lightning 7 times.
That's just ridiculous.
But my personal favorite is, you're familiar with the story of Pompeii, right?
Remind me.
So it's like 79 BC, this huge volcano blows up on the island of Pompeii and covers everyone in like ash and like encapsulates everyone there.
Okay.
So there's still like bodies. Imagine what one of the guys was doing.
Cranking one out? Oh, dude, he was jerking it. I mean, if I know I'm about to die in a goddamn volcano.
He's got a hog on him, too.
That's why you always got to keep a couple extra beers in the fridge or a bottle of whiskey nearby. It's like, well, things are about to end. Let's just numb the pain right now.
But it came on so fast that they had no idea. But it looks like he's like in a doorway clenching something and just...
Dude, he was going to Pound Town on himself.
Yeah, he's bumping uglies with himself.
He was having an orgy with his hand.
Shaking hands with Benjamin Franklin.
They're doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but that guy just seems like, I don't know if I would consider that unlucky, but the circumstances of it are pretty fucking hilarious.
Well, I think the answers itself, Matt. He wasn't getting lucky, so he had to resort to self-pleasure. So no, he wasn't lucky. Yep. He was the opposite of lucky. Getting lucky means you're getting laid. This guy had to bang his own hand.
Yeah.
In his final moments. Is that the way to go? I think so. Why not? If you're gonna die lonely, you might as well,
I was at the point of no return.
once you start, you can't stop. It stings. Happens all the time.
Yeah, but that's all I have for the unluckiest man in the world. I just think it's hilarious and it needs to be brought up more that a guy in Pompeii is forever enshrined.
How did they get that picture?
They went in now because there's like families like huddled up in closets. It's real tragic stuff. But then you go into one guy's house. Yeah.
They haven't cleaned this shit up?
They don't want to go. It's like an uninhabitable island.
Where the fuck is Pompeii? Need a little geography lesson.
I think it's in the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay, we must have looked this up before because my recent search history has Pompeii jerking off. So.
I think we're connected to the same.
We are connected. The MBNH Google account. There's a 2014 film. Apparently.
About the guy jerking off?
Maybe he's in there. I don't know. Where the hell's Pompeii?
I'm on...
Pompeii Pizzeria?
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now.
What in the heck? Where is Pompeii? What kind of Google is this?
Pompeii's on the western coast of Italy.
Oh. Gotcha. Is your internet working? Jesus Christ.
Just south of Rome.
Where is it? Pompeii, where is it?
Type in Pompeii map.
Oh, I was trying to get past Pompeii Pizza. I got stuck, all right? They have an incredible menu.
We might just need to go there. They have an incredible menu.
Well, got the jerk-off special.
What if they had one of those picture things that like the face is cut out and it's just that guy jerking off and you go put your face in it?
Okay, yeah. It is Italy. You weren't kidding. So what happened to everybody else? This was an island? Pompeii's an island, you're telling me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like you know how Italy is like shaped in a boot? It'd be like kind of in the shoelace area, you could say. Kind of the high ankle.
Yeah, there's like I think there's like a History's Mysteries or History of the Abandoned. They do one on Pompeii, and it's pretty.
It's about the dude cranking it.
I mean, essentially, it's just a documentary about this dude. Like,
what's his name?
Climax.
Nice.
Oh, it's got to be like
Max for short.
Decimus. Like
Acetus Mapetus.
Jerk me office.
Sounds like you're cranking it in the office. You ever done it? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay, we don't mean to. If you go unemployed, that together as a team, we are going to go down. So.
I've never jerked in the office.
Okay, let the record show. The bathroom, however, hey-oh.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's international waters.
What else you got on the menu?
Well, Pompeii must have.
Pompeii pizza. I'll tell you what they have on that menu.
You ever been so stoned you ordered a pizza from Pompeii Pizza and then realized that it's halfway across the world?
No, but I did order a pizza from Dickinson. I ordered from the Bismarck location.
Oh yeah, I've known people who have.
But I just say to them like, oh, we're at the Comfort Inn. I'm room 213. Every pizza place delivers to a Comfort Inn with the room 213.
That's actually the only room they deliver to. I do know people who have thought there was pizza chains in Bismarck that are in Fargo and Grand Forks. And for our listeners who may not know, that is on the east side of North Dakota, a few hours away, a few 100 miles away. And yeah, I definitely know people who have ordered that shit to Bismarck. But then in the Fargo side, in their system, they have the same address in Fargo as they do in Bismarck. So then they think it's a whole thing. It's a waste of pizza. That's what it is. But yeah, it sounds like this volcano melted down Pompeii. And we also had another meltdown recently. For those who pay attention at all, Nick Swardson had a brutal set of comedy. I got a little clip here. Can actually play.
All right, here we go. We're going to. All right. Here we go. Okay. Jason Statham as the beekeeper. Here we go. As a Christmas carol, he is the caroler. Jason Statham as the caroler. Here we go. Jason Statham.
Yeah, he says, here we go, about 20 times. This was a 2-minute clip. I just played a little bit for you guys. Oh, yeah, this was all over Twitter the day after the show. A lot of people put up videos. I guess what's your first reaction to seeing this? As a comedian yourself, you gotta get your input here.
I mean, if you're doing, I'm assuming he's doing over 200 shows a year.
Do you think he travels that much? I don't know if he does many shows.
I'm sure he does like 2 or 3 a day at some spots.
True, I guess. Yeah,
and
days of the year maybe.
So I'm saying he probably does 200 shows. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, well, he loves to drink.
And he loves to do drugs.
Yeah.
So when you're
in,
oh yeah, I don't blame him at all. And it sounds like people aren't really that upset with him. Very much like at all. I think it would have been different if it wouldn't have been in like Colorado. But did you see his tweet after?
Yeah, I have it right here. Tweeted on March 4th. Just casually woke up on TMZ. Travel tip. Don't drink and take edibles in high altitude. Well, that's all I do when I'm in the mountains. Fucking brain diarrhea. I'll make it up to you, Beaver Creek.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty safe thing to tweet because everyone knew it, but I think...
Is that an excuse, though? Don't tell me Nick Swardson can't handle his booze and marijuana products. That is a lie.
I think he had to have been on some sort of crazy trip because I know that there's some jokes that I do that I can do blackout drunk just because I like memorized it. And I know that these comedians can do they can do 50 minutes with
just old jokes.
With essentially, they'll do 50 minutes and it will just be like memorization. Like they won't really even remember doing anything. They'll be in their own heads thinking about something else, but doing their own jokes. Would I like to get there at some point? Yes. Will I ever get there? Probably not.
Well, not with that attitude. I think. I'm a big fan of Nick Swardson. I think he's hilarious. He's classic. A lot of good roles over the years. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And yeah, I understand he has to save face. So yeah, you are right. It was safe of him to tweet that out and be like, hey, I
get out ahead of it before it comes out.
Like, I had edibles. It's like, okay, but is that an excuse though? Like, hey, travel tip or comedy tip, don't do a bunch of LSD before your show. It's like, okay, well, why'd you do that in the first place? Now we're just blaming on high altitude. Come on.
Yeah, well,
spare me.
The fact that he couldn't do this, but your boy, who you read his autobiography, would straight up do heroin before shows.
Yeah, but he was able to handle himself.
Yeah. So
I mean, he even shit his pants on stage one time and then ran off and told them to play some music, and then he came back out, which is rough. But
I mean, I wasn't even on heroin, and I did that. So
yeah, I watched a bunch of videos on this, and first of all, I mean, I know it's a bigger show, but that is probably another reason why in like comedy clubs, Comedy Cellar, New York or whatever,
no phones.
Your phone gets put in a padded envelope, sealed. You can't take it out. And that's more to save the integrity of the jokes and like the comedians. However, you could have also avoided this disaster because whatever Beaver Creek Theater or whatever the venue is, they're probably not looking too good either. There's probably a lot of pissed off people who are like, I paid money for these tickets. This fucking sucked. So I don't know how that works. But yeah, and then also in the video, you can hear there's just a ton of people talking. So when this first came out and I was investigating a little bit, checking out all the tweets about it, that was the first thing in my mind as a comedian, and we've dealt with it at open mics and getting better at it. Our shows haven't been that bad. I don't think anyone's really ever interrupted me at a show beyond just minor heckling. But that's what my first thought was as a comedian. I was like, well, maybe if these people shut the fuck up, he could actually concentrate on his joke. And if you let him get to the punchline, it might actually be funny.
I think that's what they were doing, but then they shut off the lights. Or they turned on the lights and then they shut off his mic. So like it was like.
But what I came to find out was that was like 15, 20 minutes like into this already, where he was just sucking and kept saying like, here we go.
But there's that one point where he says like, here we go, I'm gonna actually do a joke, and then he like tries to start a real joke and it literally comes off as like you're like, what?
Jeez, what is it, Joe Biden on stage? Man, can hardly understand the fucker.
Maybe Joe Biden's just been on LSD.
What was funnier, Joe Biden at State of the Union or Nick Swardson at the show?
Trick question. They're the same person.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Do you think Biden came out and said, hey, don't take a bunch of fucking Ozempic before giving the State of the Union address because you're not going to know your fucking face from your ass? I don't know. There's a lot of mumbling in both of them. I'll tell you that for free. I think a lot of people pay a lot more money for the president. So I'm going to go with Joe on this one.
There's a Family Guy moment. I can't forget the guy, but it was like, they were talking about like this cartoon character who was always like, and then it turns out he's just been drunk for like 30 years.
Like Farmer Fran?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually planning ahead for next Halloween, we should do a water boy group thing.
Get to be the mom?
Oh, I suggested either you be the coach or the mom. I'll be Bobby Boucher, and then obviously we have Farmer Fran. He'll be Farmer Fran.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. So just, a quick 7-month out plan.
Yep.
Keep that in mind. Put a pin in it. We'll come back to it.
Well,
shit, do we have anything else to talk about? Okay. I can't guarantee there's going to be an interview after this. Still have to figure out the audio file. Had some technical difficulties. We've just been having we had a good streak of no problems. Now we're on a bad streak. We're just going to have to power through it. But if I do get the audio, we have an interview with Bobby Boucher from 50 Shades of Boucher podcast. He's been on before. I'm just going to go ahead and give a little viewer discretion ahead of time. Starts off pretty wild, okay? So if you're at work, if you're near your children right now, I'm giving you the warning now. Put in the AirPods or maybe just come back to this later when you're alone. There's some talking points that we didn't bring up, okay? Matt and I are free and clear here, okay? Our guest, however, brought something up, and I'm not gonna
Actually, pause the podcast right now and write down 2 things that you think that Bobby
play a
brought
little
up.
game. Yes, and you'll never guess.
If you guess both of them, I will pay for all of your children's college.
Okay. First, it's beers at the bar for 180. Now it's 180 grand for the guy who can't stop having kids. Way to go, Matt. We have a show coming up Friday, March 15th. So anybody in the Bismarck-Mandan area, come check it out because we're hitting the road. We're headed all the way to Mandan. Send it 24/7 cornhole. They're having me back. I've already played there once before. They have the best hospitality. The ownership group has been so nice to us. So we are going back to do a show. We got Matt, of course. He's going to start out the night and host for us if he decides to. I don't know if I could convince him or not. We also have Dayton Dolachek, Jim Telly, and myself on the lineup. So it's going to be a good time. You can buy VIP tickets. You get a front row table with champagne. You can buy a shot pass. Guess what? You get a shot before the show, and you get to come meet us in the green room. So you're going to want to check out those packages. If not, you're just a general admission ticket. I'm sure you can buy them the day of, but you don't want to bank on that. It might sell out. Last time we went, or I guess last time I was there, Matt was out of town. Scheduling didn't work out. Last time we went, they had to bring out every single chair they had in the facility, and that still wasn't enough. There's still people standing around. So I don't know how it's going to go. I can't predict the future, but get your tickets for that one. As always, every Wednesday, open mic night. If you want to come see Matt, myself, and the other comedians, come meet us. Come take on some laughs. Have a nice Wednesday night. Come check us out. And then also, time's flying, so we better announce it again. April 18th, that's a Thursday, at Stadium Sports Bar. It's our favorite watering hole. Tables are on sale for that. If you want to get one, just shoot us a message, and I'll get you the details on how to. We're going to go the old-fashioned way for tickets for that one. But I'm very excited for that. I'm also going to reveal something on stage that night that I've never, ever done before. It's going to be a good time. And no, I'm not showing my penis. It's going to be something else, but it's going to be a good time.
I've done that before.
Oh, everybody I tell, I'm like, hey, you get tickets to the show. I got something on stage I'm going to reveal. And they're like, you're going to show your dong, aren't you? I'm like, no, that would take a lot of balls. I mean,
full frontal, huh?
You know, you expect a guy with a huge hog to show his dong. And then you got me up there. It's like, wow. Small dong, huge balls on that guy.
Well, if you want to follow us on social media, make sure to do that at MBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, no brains, no headache. You're going to see a little bit of different setup next week. We got some new equipment coming in, so we're going to get that. And
whoa.
Got that, Monix? Nope. Great.
All right.
See you in a week.
Either an interview with Bobby is coming up, or this is the end of the show.